Hello, Danielle. I really enjoyed doing the lesson with you, co-teaching the other day. So now what we're going to do is kind of break that down and see what you might want to improve on in that lesson, or see what maybe our next steps might be. Okay. So what has gone well for you? We worked through getting more engagement, and we kind of practiced that together. So, and mind you, it's only been like a week since we did that, so it's not like we've had a big turnaround. But what has gone well for you in terms of engagement?
So I definitely think using the countdown for time, it lets them know.
So what do you mean? What do you mean by countdown?
So giving them an allotted time to think, and then counting down, they know how much time they have left, so they really have to think it out, and they're not just sitting there talking the whole time. And so I think the engagement went up in that sense as well.
I like that.
So
So kind of when we said you have 5 minutes or 3 minutes, and you could even get like a small timer for the classroom, or if you ever want to put one on the TV, that helps. I'm glad that you're utilizing that. And then one of the bigger things too we saw was those transitions.
Yeah.
When they were moving back, so counting from, even instead of 10, you could start at 5.
Yeah.
And count down to get them moving faster. So you've been practicing that?
Yeah, counting down.
Awesome.
Made an improvement.
Good. So what did you learn in this process together? What have you learned?
That my kids are capable of comprehending and staying on task as long as you are on them to stay on task.
I like that. So before it felt like they just didn't know what to do or couldn't answer, or maybe just quick answers, but you were able to get more out of them, more in depth.
Get more kids to engage within the activity.
I like that. A little bit of pre-planning with that focus. I like that. So what roadblocks are you still having to keep you from your goal? Do you think you met your goal of that 90 to 100% engagement? Is there something else that's still yearning in the classroom that you want to work on?
I would say the goal was met, but then as far as not 100%, just because of certain personalities. It has nothing to do with the engagement part, you know.
Okay. So you're thinking like that one or two friends?
Yeah.
Okay, and their
but
needs,
I was still
but overall
pleased with the turnout of everything, yeah.
Okay. And do you want to keep using this as your main goal that we're working towards with the active engagement? Or is there something else that you would try?
I would say, I mean, always open for new methods for anything, but definitely keep using this. I'm going to definitely keep using this strategy, and give them like less time as well, so that gives them more, you know, they need to pick up the pace.
I like that. So it's almost like we want to revisit this goal, and maybe a good way of seeing if it's picking up is perhaps timing it.
Yeah.
So that's something you could work on. So what part of the lesson, the time that they're talking to each other?
Yeah.
And then, so you could have 2 separate timers. So if you're kind of like we did, you started with that one main question, and then you could put that timer on there, and then maybe have a checklist. So you could say, okay, every time, are they able to get quickly, or do I have to give them an extra 4 minutes or 2 minutes? And that might help you see how well you're moving towards that. I like that. And so we want to stick with the same strategy of that turn and talk to your neighbor. And I think one thing too is not every time does it have to be where they're all moving around the room. Sometimes if you want it to be longer, but sometimes it might be you just sitting at your seat and doing it. So if you want something that's more quick and fast like that, which is kind of how I anticipated it going, that's okay to just keep them at their seats too, so that could help with that.
Sounds good.
So it sounds like we're going to stick with that same strategy, and we'll kind of maybe check on how long it's taking.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So what kind of lesson do you think you might use this? Do you think you'll stick with an ELA story with a particular question, or how do you envision yourself trying this out?
Well, I definitely want to stick with it in ELA. I can see myself though, even in science, different, all subjects really, but you know, in science, what we're learning with our planets, it's good for them to hear what other people's facts are, what their ideas are. So I think turning and talking, for them to have more information about our science topic.
Okay. And I do think having that that question that's a little bit more open-ended, even if our main goal is the science and how the sun and the earth patterns relate to each other and what causes day and night, you can, like you're saying, open that up a little bit more to the planets. So I think as long as you have a good opening question that they're focusing on, I think that would help with that timing. So perhaps let's think about you trying this out in the next day, or maybe every day you just have one question. You could do ELA one day and one science, and then maybe track how long it took, so that way we can come back together and see, did it take over that allotted time, how many minutes over, and what can we do to kind of start honing that down.
I think that works.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.